Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a battle from the 8th of November, 2019, as you can see. And as you can probably gather from the title, I'm going to respade my AMX-40 here. So, I'm squatted up with Cheeky and Petrie from BTA. Cheeky's in his MI-35, and Petrie and I spawned in tanks, and we decided we were going to push up to the castle here and see what we could do up from a high vantage point. So initially, I'm just kind of watching for any enemies to come out of their normal spawn exit valley over there and laughing at how badly the terrain bounces you around on this old map. Oh my goodness, this is one of the earliest tank maps that there was. So I thought about launching artillery over at their spawn exit, but I couldn't quite reach it here, so instead I just kept driving up top. You can see Petrie following me there in square F4. And he gets knocked out just before he makes it to the safety of the castle, unfortunately, and the hill. So I'm alone and mostly unafraid up here for the moment. So I can already hear an M1 jet turbine engine up here. So I'm just kind of tucked into this little hidey hole and just sort of using my ears right now to see if I can figure out where anything is actually approaching from. So it turns out it seems like they're going actually behind me here. I figured they would go up in the front there to get some overlook sniping positions from the castle, but turns out they actually did come in from behind here. And you can see two of them on the replay screen, but I could only tell that there was one for sure. Actually managed to get a hit on him and take out his breach there. I couldn't believe it. And as he's backing up, somehow managed to get a shot that went through into his ammo storage and detonated it and got the crew inside. I guess because it made a hole in the blowout panel. But it worked. So you can see the other tank getting behind, and all I could do there was just mark the map for the team and just let them know there's another one that got behind me. And he apparently was oblivious as to where I was from. Now, right here, real quick, that weird video glitch with the underpan of the turret, that actually happened during the battle. That's not just some weird replay thing. I don't know what was going on with that, or if it's a thing with the AMX-40's model right now. But that was something interesting. So I'm watching and listening for this other M1 that got behind me here and trying to figure out if I can get around behind him and make an ambush on him, because I figure he's trying to get to where he can shoot into our spawn. So I attempted to reverse up over these rocks, but unfortunately it's just a little too steep and you can't quite do it, so I let the team know a couple more times on the map that he was there, and I just stayed up here for the moment because I wasn't entirely sure that he was the only thing that came around this way. Although there's quite a lot of fighting going on down where all of our team is there. So most of their enemy team actually was engaged over in the southeast. So I'm trying to hunt down this M1A2. You can see him there on the minimap. Obviously I couldn't see him through the trees here, or hear him from the position I'm sitting in right here. So mostly I'm just trying to get Cheeky to see if he can spot him with his helicopter and letting Petrie know where it is in his TADU. And then I moved back up here because they've got a bunch of tanks they're hitting and marking and calling out. Cheeky just took one out right there where those targets are marked, and I put my artillery on them, and they said that they're up in the top part of the castle here. So I'm moving in to try and pick them off myself. So there we go. They said that this guy had been hit and set on fire. Get a shot through him, knock him out for my second kill of the battle. Now there was a couple more marked here, so I'm trying to figure out if there's any more that are still up here, or if they were up in the top of the castle or down in the bottom. Down below I can hear one, but I can't find him. So get up top to see if I can make some use of the high vantage point here, and the first thing I see is an ADAT's way in the back. And I aimed for his missiles here and actually hit them and detonated his ammo and got him in one shot. I was really happy with that shot. So you can actually see that warrior close by there. I couldn't hear him yet. Went back and I'm looking for the other tank that I saw next to the ADATs, but I think he realized that he was not in a good spot and he ran away behind the mountain there to the side of their spawn. So I figure at this point they're well aware where I am, and they're probably going to send somebody up here to come after me, so I got the heck out of Dodge and moved back over to my previous position, which is a little more protected, after I bounce off a hitbox that extends out into the driving path there. So you can see an enemy SPAA getting marked. Got back up into my little spot here. I was hoping that the guys could catch back up to me, but Petrie got knocked out by an M1, so I just held off here and fired artillery on where the enemies are getting marked there to the northeast of me. And then I decided to take the fight back to them again because they're kind of getting close, and I want to make sure they don't achieve a sniper position on the high ground here. You can see an IPM-1 off to the right there, but I'm chasing after the guy that's being marked up here, trying to make an end loop around him. Assuming that he's going to be farther off to my left here, but it turns out he's the Abrams right there. You can see right where I'm looking. Well, just past where I'm looking. So there's another one you can hear. You can see the two guys right there. You can hear the one to the right. And there's a third one that I could actually see, and just before I could get my gun stopped and stabilized on him, he manages to get away. I decided not to risk a last-second shot just to tip off my position, which ended up being a good thing. As you can see, these other two Abrams that are pretty close behind him. So I went after him to chase him down. So I know we've got this guy up here, and you'll see in a second, he's pretty oblivious to my presence. Get a pretty good shot into him, but it only causes a fire, and then this shot coming up right here is the shot I am definitely the most proud of for this battle. The shot on the missiles on the ADATs was pretty good, but this one made me really happy. It's like the sniper in Full Metal Jacket that shoots Cowboy through the little break opening in the building. That may or may not be an obscure reference. I think my audience is probably going to know what I'm talking about. Can obviously hear another tank coming up the road here. Pretty good hit into him. Got his driver, set him on fire. Managed to get my gun sighted in on his breech next. Take that out. Fire artillery at him. He fires smoke, but I've got him sighted in pretty well here, so it's just a matter of trying to find his ammo. Didn't get it, so I decided I would set his engine on fire here with my next shot. Got that, and now I'm trying to finish off his crew members. Tried to detonate his ammo here just to make sure he didn't have any. That didn't quite work. I was just a little off with that shot, so I went back to crew compartment and then went back for the driver, which I knew was going to be a finishing kill on him. So he's down. Now Cheeky is calling out a T-92 that he thinks he can see somewhere up around here. So I'm getting back up into position to make sure nobody snuck around behind me, make a quick check up here, and then I'm about to go look for the T-92 that he was calling out that was heading sort of this way. He couldn't really give a good description of it. He just said it was on a road somewhere moving away from their spawn. So I managed to spot this other XM1 GM coming, and he does not see me as he's looking over towards the castle where he thinks I am. Get a good hit into him, managed to knock out his gunner, which was pretty key, and then he's not able to reverse fast enough away before I can put another shot right through him and detonate his ammo for kill number 6 of the battle. You can see the T-92 right there briefly. There he is. Now you can see him pretty well. So he's in the sunken road. I never actually did spot him. I'm backing up to just get a look and see if I can see anybody in the high ground above their spawn. And it sounds pretty clear. You can see 2 artillery strikes, and they are definitely fired up near me. As you can hear the artillery starting to hit all around me. They were very acutely aware that there was something bad up at the castle. So I'm looking for the T-92 here, searching for all the sunken roads and stuff, looking for any kind of sign of his presence. I just can't see him. But there's all the double artillery strikes hitting, and I just backed out of there and then decided it was time to relocate and probably not be at the castle anymore. Pretty much a compromised position, and there are jets all over the place now too. So that shot, I don't know, I assume that was a shot from the T-92 and it just kind of ricocheted off the top of my gunner's sight there. But I wasn't sure what it was at the time. I couldn't tell if it was artillery or a shot that somehow hit me but didn't do any damage or leave any mark on the top of my tank. But looking at it through the replay, I'm pretty sure it was a shot from the T-92. Now, I assume he scouted me, but nobody ever came chasing after me up here, so I don't actually know if he scouted me or not. Or for that matter, if it actually was the T-92. He's just the closest thing to me, so I assume it was a shot from him, maybe even APCR that wouldn't have done anything to my tank and just bounced off. But anyway, it's a mystery that may never be solved. So the T-92 is actually behind me now. I never did see him. I drove past him, and we drove past each other. I think he was heading up to the castle to look for me as I relocated up here. At this point now, I'm just moving in behind to deal with the anti-air that's firing at my guys that are up in air vehicles, and there just isn't much else for me to do now except see if I can take out the anti-air rather. Now, I thought that this Chieftain Marksman was still spawn protected here, but Petrie rather told me that he'd been shooting at him for about 2 minutes, so I guess my shots were just hitboxing on the hill rather than hitting the Chieftain Marksman. But he backed up enough to give me an actual good shot at him here. And I got his ammo detonation for kill number 7. And then a Sergeant York respawns. It was the T-92 guy, so somebody got him in the T-92. I just don't know I never saw what actually happened to him. He definitely saw where I was, and as he was the T-92 driver, I'm sure he was already aware of my presence and was doing his level best to remove me from the battle here. But it would be to no avail. I reloaded with Heat FS here because I figured I had a better chance of getting a killing shot on him with Heat FS. And oh, what a funny meme that turned out to be, because watch this shot. Bounces off the top of the front of his turret face. Hilarious. But the next follow-up shot hit him square in the chin of the turret and hull broke him for kill number 8, which would be the final kill of the battle, and shortly thereafter the tickets ran out. And I was pretty pleased how the battle turned out, actually. Quite an unexpected result here for respading out my AMX-40. So there it is. Night vision complete. 8 kills, no deaths, not too bad. I'm glad that we won, so that my 8 kills and no deaths wasn't a wasted effort. And there's the kill feed. So, not too bad. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And we'll see you next time. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.